Yeah, how does that work?
Well, I actually forgot because I haven't been playing Brew much lately, but one of you can kill all but one illusion and he'll go to the one
I think that's
that's
the agility has to stay alive.
yeah, the
Gordon,
green
You
one I
want to
think
remember?
is prioritized.
Here's my mnemonic device for this, or my
Okay,
my
nice.
little
Awesome.
device. Remember the band Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So he will always spawn in that order. So if the Earth is alive, he'll go to Earth. If the air aspect is alive, he'll go to the air aspect. If the fire aspect is alive, but none of the others are alive, he'll go to the fire. So
That's a fantastic mnemonic.
there you
Oh,
go.
wow.
The first hero in that order, or the first aspect in that order that is alive, that's the one that he'll go to.
Or I've seen fire and I've seen rain. No, that
No,
was
so there you go. That's the opposite. That's the
James
exact
Taylor.
opposite.
I've seen fire and I've seen rain.
Wrong guy.
Yeah, wrong, and not a good
Wrong
wrong.
guys.
So if you want to remember the order that it doesn't happen in, remember James Taylor.
See? But that's great. Earth, Wind, and Fire. I like that.
Yes, that is. It's going to be helpful to remember it. So targeting Brewmaster down when he goes into that ult. Do you want to take out fire, then go backward? Do you want to reverse your thinking, or do you want to just kill those in that order?
It depends on positioning, right? So if he's running away the Earth Spirit, then it makes no sense for you to engage on them, because if you can't kill the Earth Spirit, then you're not going to be able to kill him. If he's diving the Earth Spirit very deep, then it makes sense for you to allow the Earth Spirit to stay alive and kill the others. Or allow the Earth Spirit to stay alive and focus on other heroes or something. Usually, under most circumstances, while the Brewmaster has the Primal Split Up, you just focus on other stuff. Either run away from it or focus on his allies, because at most stages of the game where you actually care about that anyway, he's too strong for you to kill. It's just too much health for you to get through.
He is a
Later
pain in
on,
the ass.
later on in the game, once you have that damage per second that your heroes are eventually going to get, like right around now, if he doesn't have an Axe, is about the point in time where you don't really care that much. But he does have an Axe, so he's able to get an additional Thunderclap, an additional stun offer. I think that's what it is. So he's able to do some additional skills, which means that those aspects are additionally useful, which prolongs the efficacy of that ultimate a little bit longer. But for the most part, in the early game, if you see that ultimate, just run away from it if you can. Try to stay as a group as much as you can so nobody gets picked off, and then turn it on him once he try to get him to chase too long. But if he does dive the Earth Spirit super, super deep, you can try to engage on the other two aspects, or just try to keep that Earth Spirit deep so that you can position around him.
Fight here at the Rosh Pit.
Yeah, fight here at the Rosh Pit.
Morana's popping your ult. They're all going in invis.
It's looking
But
like
they have the area sentry.
So yeah, also not only that, but they also have the Shadow Shaman Shackle on him. Shackle, if a unit goes invis while it's shackled, it won't go invis.
yeah.
That's so actually you guys for your guess a counter. Guessed Ricky, I think 2 episodes ago, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Think about Shackles as a counter to Ricky, because he has a fade time. You can always see him if he's in there. So that includes Shackle from Shadow Shaman. It includes Bind from Meepo, which is not a hero that you guys are playing at your level, but at the higher tier level,
We're losing games.
well, if you guys are playing Meepo is a really good counter to Ricky, because you can net him over and over and over again and keep him permanently visible and still.
Sure. But then I have to go to the other Meepo to do that, right? Like,
You
to
gotta
tap
be good
through 'em.
with the Meepo.
Yeah.
But
Oh, okay.
So here's
Naga
something a
Siren
little bit
is
about
another.
Meepo with Roland. Roland thought that you could only throw a net from the main Meepo, that none of the other Meepos could net.
No, I preached it. I didn't think that. I was like, no, guys, I can only throw one net. And they're like, I'm pretty sure you can throw more.
right.
About 15 games later of losing with Meepo on our team.
Those are hard times.
And then I realized
talk about
Poof
those
did
times.
damage.
I
And
wanna
then stopped.
point out what Chicago Ted. There's a 2-minute delay, so Chicago Ted has just now caught up to the point in time where you guys were like, "What do you target if the Brewmaster ultis?" And Chicago Ted says, "Just kill whatever you can," which is a pretty good. That's a pretty good way to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would
For
agree
Dota.
with that. Or just run away from whatever you can. Also, with Meepo and Brewmaster, comparing them, if he goes into ult and splits the 3 of them, can he get 3 times the amount of experience?
Yeah, no, each Meepo collects experience differently, or each Meepo collects experience separately. So this
Yes.
is
Does
a
that
problem
happen
with
with
Meepo.
Brewmaster?
It does not. Brewmaster, I don't think that he gets experience while he's in aspects, but I'm not 100% sure. That's actually a blind spot of mine. But I think that those aspects don't collect. Well, no, they must collect experience, but no. It is the Earth aspect that collects experience.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Okay,
I
so
think it's
only one of them.
whatever one you're going to go to. That's the one that's collecting experience. Sorry for my slight hiccup there. I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. I will look it up just to be 100% sure after this cast and tweet out.
Well, you just showed that you're a human, so that's good. Like, we know you're not a robot now.
I'm pretty sure it's the Earth aspect that takes it.
You probably did pass the Turing test.
Yeah, well, I'm very good at the Turing test. Look at Bean and 122 right now. Go to the top lane and watch them. They're dancing. They're doing the dance.
I see them all dancing.
They're trying to bait Casey into something here, and sadly it worked. I've actually seen a replay where there was a pup game going on, and this is not like learn how to play Dota. This is learn what not to do in Dota. They walked in, and their opponents were like raxing them basically, and they all walked up in a line and did not defend, and they all started doing the dance. And eventually the other team was watching this, and they walked up and started dancing as well, and they were all dancing together for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then the team that started dancing first wiped them.
That is Dota bringing people together, you know?
Yeah.
Of varied interests.
Bringing people together and then literally ripping them apart.
That is life.
That Centaur is just rubbing it in, dodging arrows, dancing.
Yeah.
Well, he's just rubbing it in.
Ice is being very showy right now, and I wonder if it's because they know that they're on ticket.
Maybe. Well, we want them to know that we think it's hilarious and to continue doing it, please.
I think this stat right here is really interesting to read aloud, and that's that Desolator and Assault Cuirass, only two that lower the armor and make the pushing easier, and that's what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
Sniper has the Desolator, right? I mean, I haven't checked his items.
Yes,
There he is.
You can tell because his shots are red. Anytime his shots are red, he's got a Desolator.
And that's unique to the Desolator with Razor and Sniper as well.
Right,
Is that other heroes as well?
with any ranged hero.
I see.
Have a red attack.
That was extremely well played by Ice. I know we were casually talking throughout that, but Ice...
It was very well played, especially considering the lag.
Yeah.
Gorgon, what would you say about the draft? Would you say that Ice's draft was better overall than KC's?
I would say that Ice's draft is a little more in meta. And that at this level of play sometimes means better because people have played it more recently and know kind of how to execute it. I honestly think that Ice just kind of outpositioned, though, KC. We weren't watching the positioning a whole lot. We didn't focus a lot on that this game. We did a lot in Game 1. So if you're looking for a positioning discussion, we did a fair amount of that in Game 1, guys. Go back to the VOD and check that out, or check it out in the Dota 2 ticket. But KC had just, they were grouped up a little bit too much. They weren't able to get the experience they needed. They weren't able to get the farm that they needed, whereas Ice was doing a lot more maximizing the map. And they had a lot better execution on their push. So when it comes down to that, they were able to get the space that they needed to just absolutely tear away.
And Ice really demonstrated two different playstyles in those two games. I mean, we had one lockdown-centric, or at least stationary-centric playstyle in the first game, to something that was a lot more varied and a lot more about positioning and running with the Brewmaster and the Sniper. And you're right, their positioning was really strong in that second game.
Yeah.
And that first blood, I mean, I think that first blood may have butterfly effect throughout that game, and I think it hit his morale, because at the end when they were dancing, who ran in and who got killed? It was Bristleback.
Yeah, and the other thing there is the first blood, Bristleback is just a hero who needs to get going well enough that his farm needs to maintain at a level that he can tank the same proportion amount of damage that coming out of your opponent's team. So as your opponents are going to get exponentially more damage, you need to get exponentially tankier as the game goes by, and he didn't. I mean, at the end of the game, he had the same items that he had 15 minutes into the game.
He had a rough game, and I think it just started off with losing that game. He probably got maybe some shit from the captain for losing that game.
Who knows? No one can assume. Like Gorgon said earlier in the cast.
Yeah, you can't assume, and every team is different. Maybe he got really positive reinforcement, like you did really well, but dying in the first minute 30, especially with a tanky hero like Bristleback, has to suck.
Oh yeah.
Has to really suck and be really demoralizing.
Yeah, that happens to me. I play a fair amount of Bristleback, and I almost universally give or get first blood. Bristleback's a really easy hero to get what I call Spirit Breaker Syndrome with. Spirit Breaker Syndrome is where you go into a place to get a kill that you don't really belong, but you have a chance of getting a kill.
Yep. That was one of the worst way to die nominees, was Spirit Breaker bashing people. And running across the map. And you do. I get that syndrome with just about every hero, and I think that's why my MMR is 1400.
Maybe it's just you that has the syndrome. Then,
yeah, maybe it's just me.
They'll rename it the Roland syndrome.
Hey, that sounds pretty good.
Not buying boots on your nature's profit? You might have Roland syndrome.
Hey, Gorgon doesn't even know about that.
Side effects might include being a douche sometimes.
I buy boots.
Yeah. The boots thing just keeps coming up. I love it. I've seen pro games where Bulba used to play off lane for Liquid, and I saw him play a game where he didn't get boots for a long time on.
And that's why I was
Profit.
watching. And that's why I was watching.
And
Yep.
he never got treads. He just stayed on boots. But it's because he was so ridiculously farmed that he just went for bigger items.
Me too. Me
Yeah,
too.
no,
And that's why I did it.
That Dagon,
I watched
you
a
know.
lot of Bulba, and yeah, I knew that.
You watched you watched that one game over and over and over.
A
All right.
lot, yeah.
I
That
want
one
to
game
go
a lot.
ahead and throw over to just do our quick ticket thing here. So, out of the questions, we talked a couple of them. Do you guys have any that you think was like the best question that you guys like to answer for the night?
Cyphus does.
We missed it, but Sonoble actually had another funny one. He felt like the real question of the night was who the sexiest hero is.
Oh, man.
Luna, dude.
No. That
Luna.
fire? Nah.
Not Lena. Luna.
Oh, Luna. Yeah.
Luna riding that.
Luna. She shares her life with a tiger, man. That'd be kind of hard in the whole relationship
I think,
aspect.
guys, it's hard to say no to Pudge. That's all I'm gonna go with.
Them meat flaps.
So,
I mean,
I was just gonna say, Arcfire did the question about when is it good to run a tri lane. That we talked about that quite a bit, and really didn't even scratch the surface on it. What do you guys
And
think?
we
Is
really,
that-
absolutely.
Oh, it's
That's
a
a solid
fantastic
question.
question. It's a good question. We'll do an episode.
But
on it.
like you said, yeah, I think we'll
do
touch
an
on that
episode
later
on
on in a .p podcast. But
if you guys do an episode on that, you're gonna want to do like 6 episodes on that because you'll realize as you get into it that it's like, well, oh my god, it is so in depth
Sure.
and
So much
really.
depth, yeah.
It's really in depth if you just think about the tri lane, but then you think about the alternatives that you're foregoing, the opportunity cost to a tri lane, saying that we're not going to have a jungler, we're not going to have a 2-1-2, we're not going to have a rotating support, we're not going to have a dual mid lane, we're not going to have an aggressive tri lane if we have a defensive tri lane, we're not going to have a defensive tri lane if we have an aggressive tri lane. Once you factor in the opportunity cost, there are a myriad of options that you really have to look at all of them before you know when it's good to do a tri lane, and it snowballs. So have fun opening up that can of worms.
that
maybe we'll
individual-
bring you on. We'll just bring you on, and we'll let you do all the
We'll
talking.
just walk
all the work,
away, and you'll
you know?
just keep going.
We'll just
keep
record
going. Yeah, it'll be like the Titanic, way too long.
But that
That was a
individual-
dated
Yeah,
joke.
that was a
too.
dated
It was
joke,
dated,
yeah.
and
And it really happened. I shouldn't have gone with a movie that actually.
it should have been like long
Non-fictional.
like my face.
Yeah.
Because you have a long face.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that's definitely the winner because we derailed that conversation pretty good, I think. So
Yeah, I mean, it is a great question, and I feel like like it's hard to answer that question. I don't really know how to, and I'd like to do some research, read some blogs on the internet, and maybe answer that question in a podcast.
well, I think
bring you on.
that specific tri-lane was very, very strong. We had the Shadow Shaman, the Sniper, and the Wraith King all in the same lane. There's plenty of stun possibilities, plenty of abilities to get that first blood, and they definitely did in that lane due to that great offensive tri-lane.
Yeah, that was a really. I'm gonna re-watch those if possible. I think it will be. Will that show up in my replays? Maybe. Anyway, those they really played well. I love the way the episode was, that it was still casual, and that we still were able to get a lot of questions answered. I feel like I'm a better Dota 2 player over the past 2 hours, and I haven't even played Dota.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
except for-
watching games, and this is something that I used to pump CEVO with a lot, but it's really true. Watching games in CEVO and watching games in the International are different experiences. CEVO is a lot of really good players playing it, but it is an open tournament. It is a tournament that has it's ranging from tier 2 teams to community level teams, and you will see things that are closer to your level of play than you'll see in pro games, which means that you will be seeing the missing link if you watch a CEVO tournament or you watch an amateur Dota 2 league tournament. You'll be seeing the little things that players that are just a little bit better than you are doing, and you can use those to springboard yourself forward. If you're only watching pro Dota and trying to imitate that, it's like you're trying to watch, pro wrestling and imitate that, like actual wrestling, like Olympic wrestling, not like WWE.
I was like,
you want to talk to a high school coach before you try to do what Olympic wrestlers are doing.
Sure. And you brought that up in the episode that you were on, that there's a lot more mental in the physical sports, and there's a lot more physical in the mental sports.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely dead on, spot on, right in the middle, right. I completely agree. Before this, we went out, and we had a walk, and it really helped, I think, our attitude and our morale.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
And we didn't even play.
and we didn't even play. So I think you're really onto something there, Gorgon, and you have a lot of good things to say about this game. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing how the CEVO Learns grows, and we'd really love to come back.
And the
Thanks for
Baby
having us.
Roshan article series. We'll give you a plug even if you won't.
Well, there we go. Yeah, guys, stop by this weekend. I'm going to put up another Baby Roshan, which is once again, it's a written article segment over on highground.tv, where I'm the editor-in-chief. And it's all about like things that newer level players might not know, or things that may have gone over your head, or whatever. If you have something that you really want to learn about, that you want me to write about, tweet me at GotCowDota with suggestions for Baby Roshan, and I will write a fairly in-depth little essay for you about that topic.
Trilane, so I can read it, and then we can do a podcast on what I read on Baby Roshan.
I already have an old Join Dota article that I never ended up putting up that goes over some basics of Trilane, so I'll just maybe put that up as a bonus Baby Roshan at some point.
Hey, nice.
I like that idea.
There you go. All right. I'm
sorry,
going to do the ticket raffle real quick, and
fantastic.
what we've got 4 people going in, and I'm just going to go ahead and get a random number generator and select. So go ahead and plug yourselves, guys, by the way, while we're here. And
You can hit us up on defenseofthepatients.com. You can find us on iTunes by searching Defense of the Patients, and Twitter at @p_show. And keep in touch with us. Send us emails. Comment on the blogs. We'll get back to you. And we give away a lot of free swag. We do Worst Way to Die Listeners Edition. So if you've got a terrible way that you've died recently in Dota 2, kick it our way, and we might read it on the air. And
we've got a lot of good ones for next show.
Yeah.
So keep putting those in, and yeah.
You can find me, the Grand Wazoo, on Twitter at @p_wazoo. We're all pretty active on our show Twitter and our personal Twitters. You can find us, like Cypher said, at defenseofthepatients.com.
I'm at @p_Roland.
And I'm at @p_Cyphus. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it is. Really, we're using the show account, all 3 of us. So if you get a response, it's
It's all of us
33%
all at
chance
once.
it's one of us. So,
3% chance?
33% chance
chance
it's one of us.
And
Oh,
one more thing.
33% chance.
And you're
it's
supposed to
me.
be the math guy.
One more thing that I want to plug here, since CEVO is hosting this tournament, and they're also hosting us on their channel. They're doing good things for us and good things for the North and South American Dota community. Just want to go ahead and say, guys, if you enjoyed this at all, buy a ticket. I'm just stuttering over my words now because we've been on the air for so long. Buy a ticket in the Dota 2 store. It's $10. It comes with a really great Juggernaut set. And it comes also with the tickets. You can watch all of these, not only all of this series that we're going to be doing hopefully more and more of. You'll have replays of all of them in Dota 2 TV forever. So you'll never lose the information that you heard here. You can always go back and rewatch it. But you also get all the other games that are being normally cast for the series. And you're going to be helping North and South American Dota by increasing the prize pool by $2.50, where we've gone up thousands of dollars, I think. We're up above $5,000 for the prize pool for this tournament right now. And it's a completely open tournament. Anybody could sign up. So that's huge.
That is huge.
And the one other thing is follow the Twitch channels at twitch.tv/PlaySeason1 and twitch.tv/PlaySeason2 if you haven't. And the, I guess, other thing there is, if you like me, or you like Chicago Ted, or you like any of the other casters, or you just generally like CEVO, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It gives you a very small monthly fee. It's like $4.99 or something, and that goes to CEVO and helps us increase the quality of our casts, the regularity of the cast. Most of that money goes directly to the casters in order to help compensate us for some of our time, and also to help us make sure that we can justify putting in a lot of time to come up with the unique content like this series instead of just casting. So, and if you subscribe to one of our channels, you get subscriptions to all of our channels, including the CSGO channel, both the Dota channels, and any channels that are covering the other CEVO events like the Team Fortress Tour or the StarCraft or whatever. I'm not sure all of the events that they have, but subscribe to one channel, you get subscription to every channel. So if you like Dota or you like esports at all, it's definitely a channel worth subscribing to.
Well, I'm going to subscribe, that's for sure.
Yeah.
This has been way too much fun.
Cool, guys. Any parting words other than everybody should send you listen to your podcast on iTunes and probably drop some reviews and stuff so you can get that meta review coming out.
We're very involved.
We want it so bad.
Yeah, we're
close.
very involved with every process. Guys, email us. check out the show if you want to. It's good for amateur players. Thanks for having us on, Gorgon.
Yeah,
Thanks for giving us the opportunity, and we'd like to thank CEVO for having us on as well.
Yeah, it was really, really fun, and we hope to hear from you on our Twitters. And until next time, Gorgon.
Thanks to all the viewers as well, guys. Thanks for coming by. It was a lot of fun and educational for us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for everybody for stopping by, and tell your friends. Hopefully, we can make this series, something that has a fairly regular audience of people who are looking to learn, including myself. It's really great for me to answer questions because only in answering questions you realize what you don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are
Blind
unknown
spots,
unknowns. And I have a lot of them, so it's really good for me to be doing stuff like this as well. So I'm gonna kill the stream. Oh, go ahead and say.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say it's very educational, and we look forward to seeing it grow. Honestly, so thanks for having us.
Cool, guys. Awesome. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. If you want a ticket, go ahead and swing by my or go ahead and send me a friend request on Steam right now. I'm at GotCowDota, so I'll accept it there and send you guys your tickets. And follow everybody on Twitter. That's all I've got. Have a good night.